Oh, wow, they just jump right in. Okay.
Well,
hello, everybody, and welcome to the D-Pad. I'm Rick.
I'm Sra.
And this is My Nintendo Picross, The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess.
I'm so excited.
This is quite a mouthful of a title. Every once in a while we have a game that's just like a huge, stupidly long title like that.
Right, they're just like, yeah, we have to put every single word in there. To be fair, the base title is already pretty long.
It's true. It is definitely true. So here's the question. How quickly will they let me go through tutorials for Picross? Are always kind of paint like, here's how you, figure out how this thing works. All right, so I've got the stylus. Let's do the stylus.
Basic controls.
All right, do I need to Picross is a puzzle game where the numbers are hints about how to fill in squares to make a picture. These are the hint numbers. They tell you how many squares you need to fill in for each row or column. Take this 5, for example. It means you need to fill in 5 squares in a row. Columns work the same way. This hint shows you need to fill in 2 squares, leaving at least one blank space.
They're really going to go very, very explicit with this one, I see.
Jumping a little quick. All right, so fill all 5 squares in this row. So do I just hit the, just...
Stylus it,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just making sure there's not like a trigger button, essentially.
Well, you pick the stylus instead.
You need to leave at least one blank square between the numbers.
Wow, they're going to really hold your hand through this first one.
I think so, yeah. Got such a nice hole in the middle there. Oh, dear. It'd be a shame if you accidentally filled it in.
Heyo?
Right. Give with an X, but how do I do that? Oh, I can use the circle pad.
Oh, interesting.
There we go. That's what I was looking for, is like, how do I on-the-fly switch?
The X's are useful, though. It's true when you're doing some of the more larger, complex ones.
Yeah. So I can do, this guy right there. And then, let's see. I'll let you have the hook. Nope, not yet. Fill them in, living space where you need to. Don't forget to add an X. So, yeah, we have this guy right here. And that. All right, not much left now. The hint number is a 3. So those need to be connected because, because that's just how Picross works.
Yeah, that's just how to make a 3 in that column.
All right, we got...
Oh, wow, now they let you do the last 2. Jeez.
Cool. I think that's just for this, tutorial section or whatever, but... so...
To be fair, if you've never played before, it's helpful.
Yeah. I'm hoping they can let us skip the tutorial thing. If, if people out there don't know how Picross works, we've kind of just gone over the bulk of, that's how Picross
works. It gets bigger, and sometimes they're more complicated, but...
Yeah, I assume that, they're not going to be giving us all of this information for much longer.
Yeah, it seems like this is a definite tutorial trying to help you out thing.
Yeah,
because to be fair, stuff like this is if you know it's, that. And
yeah,
same
up against
with
an edge we'll do stuff, and... But yeah, so I figured, what with this being kind of the sort of swan song of... what is it trying to get... Oh, I guess I can... Nope.
Oh, those X's.
There we go. My circle pad was not going all the way down for some reason. There we go. We're good? All right. So we got that.
It's just... Nope.
Oh, whoops.
Other way around there.
Yeah, wait a second. Oop, there we go. What? It's not... Is this going to actually be a problem of, the circle pad that has been behaving really well for, 5 years starting to act up again? It's not going to be good.
No.
But
you could just not do X's.
That's going to make life real hard as we go further on into this.
It's true. Once you get into the more complex ones. The early ones you really don't... Ah, here's a 10 by 10.
All right. You're just going to let me... Yeah, if you add them all up, add the blank squares with it. This is a very useful tool.
This is a very useful tip, yes.
Even if they don't add up all the way, even if they add up close to it and you've got a large enough number in the group, you can usually...
fill some of them in, yes.
Yeah.
Like when you've got an 8 or a 9 or something, you can fill in those center 7 and things like that too, which is always handy dandy.
Oh, it's a trigger. It's a trigger between up and down. I don't have to hold it. That was my mistake earlier.
Oh, yeah, you just tap it. Yeah.
That makes...
You're flipping between the two.
Yeah. Well, see, honestly, I would go for the 10 first, just because...
Right? It's right there.
There we go. I always kind of hate the tutorial sections of these things where I'm just just let me do my thing, please. Let me get started.
Yes, I know this. Let me just...
Yep, there we go. Yep, let me go.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, that is the only possible configuration that can work for those values.
The tapping is like a little bit inaccurate, actually.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
It's going to make things a little bit complicated here. All right, are we good? We're good. Okay. So yeah, so what with this being kind of the last... Yeah, wow, the tapping is like really not working for me right now. That's not good. With this kind of being our last little piece here, I figured something would be kind of neat to do, especially with Picross not being the best, like, I don't know, there's not exactly a lot of action to be, you know, watching happen on the screen. I know, it's crazy, right?
That 2-3 in that center one you can fill out.
2-3. Oh, I see it. Yep.
I don't have a better description.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't even know what you're talking about. But yeah, so like, oh, nope.
Also, that center column, the 2-1.
Well, we don't know for sure that it's on the
I
top
guess
there
that's
yet.
fair. I just think it's likely based on the 1. Yeah, you've got a 1-1 on the other side. It has to be those two.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now we're good. Cool. But yeah, I figured a neat thing to do for this one, with it being kind of the end of this whole thing, would be to like
snowman.
Sort of not exactly interview, but kind of do like one-on-one podcasty episodes with various members of the team, and just kind of like sort of do like a retrospective, I guess, on all of this stuff. We've been playing Zelda games since August of 2013.
There's been many Zelda games played, but I was not included for Majora's Mask. Never forget.
Oh my God. You were like, I think we were
You
still
don't want to have the one on the left filled in, silly face.
I didn't do that. That's the game.
Jesus, I wasn't even reading the thing. I was just watching it fill in and going, why is he doing that?
But yeah, this is probably this is sort of the technique that I use a lot, which is like you kind of count from one side and the other, and it gives you the idea of like where
absolutely.
that overlap is basically guaranteed.
That's what I was saying before, where it's like, but like you have a 0 column right there, so you know where the 9 is. Like you don't.
Yep.
Like it works good for these 7s, sure.
Yeah.
I just the 9. I'm like, no, you don't need to do that.
Oh my God.
Just
okay. Yep. I'm tapping as furiously as I can to move forward too, and it's just like, no, you're gonna sit through all of this. It's like,
It's like on the one hand, these are all very useful tips that they're giving you, but on the other hand, it's like, but I already know. Can I just please? Can we not?
I don't know if I would trust that middle one that it highlighted.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting argument that they're making.
Yeah,
there.
that doesn't make sense because they could be 4 and then a bunch of gaps and then 3 in the end. That middle one doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's not necessarily.
Don't let yourself fall for easy traps, though. Yeah, see. There we go. Okay. That's why I'm just like, are they about to give us bad information? Yeah, but when you find sections where you've already got the number, even if they're not up against anything, you can do that.
Because you're like, yes, I know that's got to be the...
And I will give them credit. They are doing a good job of explaining a lot of the more nuanced, kind of techniques for Picross.
I don't know. I learned these as I played.
Oh, for sure. But like, it's not the end of the world if they're like, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah.
No, it is good. It is good that they're doing this, I think.
Yeah. I do think they could go a tiny bit faster for folks who have done it before, but...
Or just have an option to be like, I've played.
Yeah. Just to kind of get through there a little bit quicker.
And just, if you ever feel the need to come back and tutorialize because you're like, I'm missing something, you can, but
there we
don't
go.
Force
we free?
Me to.
We're free. Okay. Oop. There we go. But yeah, so we started doing Zelda in August of 2013. Which feels like ancient fucking history at this point. Both just in general, but also like, 2020 being 2020.
Jesus.
Nothing makes sense anymore and time has no meaning.
It's true.
But so do you remember what like the first thing you did with us with Zelda was? Because I remember...
Well, it wasn't Majora's Mask because you didn't include me, even though that's like probably one of my favorite Zelda games.
I'm pretty sure at the time we were actually recording out of the studio still.
It's okay, I understand. It's because you hate me.
Of course, clearly. Whoops. But yeah,
I really like Majora's Mask.
I remember,
seriously, no joke.
I remember there were like a few games where you like I want to say it might have been.
They fill in the picture as you go.
That is pretty neat. I like that.
Sorry, not to interrupt you.
Oh no, it's fine. It's I think it might have been Twilight Princess, where like you just kind of were like passing through, because at the time you weren't really interested in being.
No,
in
I wasn't
the
really. I didn't join for Twilight Princess. I know that because I still have never played that game.
You didn't like join for it.
I don't know what happens in it.
I think you were like literally passing through, and you like hopped on an open mic for like literally as you were
like
passing
a few
through the room.
seconds. Oh yeah, possibly, entirely probable.
But I don't. Oh, good. So now they're gonna have the penalty thing on.
I mean.
All right.
So the color version is a hint thing they're doing. I still think it's kind of cool.
No. Come on, I'm tapping on it. There we go. Jesus Christ. But yeah, like oop. God damn it. What? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know where I was counting from. That was stupid. In fact, I'm just gonna... Can I just reset? May as well reset, since that was like such a stupid mistake. I'm like, I don't know where I was counting from. Yes, we did this text already. We can go past it, please.
Nope, you exited. You re-entered the tutorial puzzle. You shall redo tutorial.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Nope. Okay, here we go.
But you're forced to use the hint color anyway, which I find interesting.
How did it skip that? That doesn't even make sense. What? I didn't tap there. I tapped to the left of it. Okay, you know what? I'm not using stylus mode anymore. The tapping, I tapped on this square and it did the one to the right of it. So I'm gonna switch, because this is gonna drive me crazy otherwise. How do I switch? No. How do I switch my controls? There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll quit and we'll bounce back in. It's kind of a bummer of a way to have that go down, but
go through the tutorials again.
Oh
Yay,
my god!
Tutorial
right?
message.
Well, I don't
tap,
know.
Tap, tap.
The worst part is I don't know what the buttons are gonna do. I assume it's like the same controls but with A instead of.
I mean, that's logical to me.
Oh, A and B.
A and B.
Fair enough. That works. All right.
You seem to be having a much better time already.
Yeah. Feels a lot more comfortable. That's for damn sure. Cool. But yeah, so. Is there anything for, I guess, right off the bat? What do you think? Do you remember what like the first thing that you jumped in on?
No, absolutely not.
No, no, I don't give a shit. Whatever.
No, I just don't remember.
No, that's fair. It's been kind of a long time at this point. What do you think has been like your favorite one so far?
That I've gotten on the D-pad?
Yeah,
God,
out of the Zelda
idea.
games. Out of the Zelda games.
Well, no, I really love Majora's Mask. It was probably one of my favorite ones. I played that a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah. What got any like favorite like pieces of that game?
Gosh. I mean, the whole concept is so good. I love the whole 3-day time thing and all the different ways they played with that, and just kind of they put a lot of effort into making everyone have really full and detailed lives because it was only those 3 days, and that was just super cool to see in a game, because that like wasn't a thing that happened really in those days.
It's impressive.
Kind of neat.
It's impressive too that like they had done it with like no time too. I think they had done the entire game in about a year and a half. Oh, not a year and a half. I think it was a year and a half, which at the time,
that's pretty impressive.
I think they spent like 3 years on Ocarina of Time or something. So like they had way less time for a sequel. And like, yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of interesting to me that like, although to be fair, I don't know if you've played it recently, especially like less so with the original, but the 3DS version. You start to feel after a while like, okay, I'm starting to understand. You know, not like cut corners exactly, but like in Ocarina, there was definitely sort of a feeling that like great care was taken with textures to make sure that they blended really well. And
so the thing is here, I actually played Majora's Mask first.
Okay, all right.
And then I got Ocarina because as many of the kids in the 90s did, it was very much, you just kind of got random games.
Yep. grab
You
it from like
didn't-
Blockbuster or something.
It wasn't really a thing you got to choose necessarily. And
Yeah.
sometimes well-meaning relatives would try
just
and
give you
like
stuff, and you're like, oh, all right.
sometimes it's like, they'd even get it right, but it'd be like, game 2 instead of game 1.
Oh,
And
sure.
You're like, all right, this is still good. I don't, I'm going to play it anyway.
Yeah,
right?
oh, obviously.
So I got Majora's Mask at some point, and I didn't have Ocarina of Time.
Gotcha.
So I just
Okay.
played that first, and I loved it a lot. And I loved it enough that I went and found Ocarina of Time and played through that also afterwards and had a good time with that too. Don't get me
Nice.
wrong. But yeah, it was... Is that another apple? Wait,
No, I think it's a bomb, yeah.
yeah.
Post this in Miiverse. No, thank you. Oh my god. But yeah, no, I think it's interesting, right? Because like the two games couldn't be more tonally different.
Oh, they're so different.
But like same engine, honestly, same assets too.
They feel very similar, yes.
It was always interesting because as a kid, my big thing, like a lot of my friends would just sit around and be like, it'd be like game theories of various kinds, being like, oh man, do you think that the woman from the woman who's working the ranch is the same as the woman who has the chickens in Ocarina? They got to be the same lady because this, and like just sitting around going like,
Oh wow,
treating
you
them
had
like they're the
nerdier
same
friends
game,
than
basically.
me.
Oh, absolute baby. Was that ever in doubt?
I mean,
Was that ever in doubt? Do these.
I don't. None of my friends really played them that way, at least.
Wait a second.
Yeah, those columns are filled. Those X's should be there.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. This is what I was looking for. Okay. I was like, what did I fuck up in there? There we go. Alright.
But yeah, I just had a really good, fun time playing
Yeah.
Majora. Something about collecting all the masks in Majora's Mask. I really enjoyed being the different kind of main creature characters. I don't know how else to describe that, right? Like the Deku Shrub, the Goron,
the Zora
and
as
the
well.
Zora. Zora
no idea
Link
what you
was
call
super
that.
hot. Let's all be honest here.
Well,
Zora Link-
nowadays we have oh my god, I forgot his name.
Oh, the
from
Shark
Breath of the
Shark
Wild.
Prince.
Shark Prince. Shark Husbando.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck his name was. He was Soul? No.
I feel like it was like an M, but I don't remember.
I don't remember his name. Shit, because there was all like music puns for most of the main
and
ones.
there was lots of fan art and jokes about hot.
Yeah.
Hot Shark Prince boy. But
Oh man. So
but yeah, Zora Link hot. Heard it here on the D-pad.
the other factoid that kind of comes to mind as far as like all the time that's been spent on this channel is, so we started dating in June of 2013, about 2.5 months before about 2.5 months before this whole thing got started.
Yeah,
So-
and he still didn't include me in Majora's Mask.
I was like, I don't know if she'll
I
think
don't know
I'm a
if
huge nerd if I invite her into the thing.
Oh yeah, I only played the shit out of that game a whole bunch and like had printed out the entire booklet on where to
You have the,
find all the like heart pieces because it was 1990 and I couldn't just look that shit up on my phone. It was like a complicated. I think I printed it at the library. I don't even know.
Tell them about
anymore.
your like wall that you got like a wall scroll too.
Oh, that I just got from someone randomly like a few years ago.
I mean,
I just thought it was awesome.
it is pretty cool. I like it a lot.
But yeah, it's a sweet Majora's Mask wall scroll. One of my friends, I don't even remember who anymore at this point, to be honest, because it was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
They were just like, yeah, I'm getting rid of these 2 wall scrolls. And one was like a Final Fantasy wall scroll, and one was that, awesome Majora's Mask wall scroll. And I was like, I will
take that.
take those.
I will take that shit off your hand immediately. Whoops.
I am perfectly happy to take both of those objects from you. Coconut.
But yeah, I think honestly
Compass? Okay.
Yeah,
I see it as half a
I
coconut.
can see that as half a like coconut that's been cracked open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
Sorry.
No, that works. I like that.
I think guessing before they reveal.
I think at the time, the only reason that you weren't like on mic was just because you weren't really like, I don't know, you just kind of weren't really feeling it. I think it was because half the time I
came over there, I was filled with a deep and compelling desire to clean things because it was always so gross.
Yeah, that sounds about right. There were attempts to fix that. They were mildly successful. We're better about it nowadays, thankfully.
Not to be too mean about it, but it was just like
no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I couldn't.
I know. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there we go. It's also a lot harder.
John problems.
Yeah.
Call him out.
Surprisingly a lot harder to to drive a conversation, I guess, while doing one of these. I wasn't expecting it to be as
difficult. You've got to do all this math and be thinking, and then
sorta, yeah.
Because you're trying to count and be like, okay, and then it's 2 minus +1 and. Yeah, no, I understand.
I was just like surprised by it. I was like, oh no, that'll be good. I can do that, and then conversation can happen. And now I'm sitting here going like, and then
word.
Let's see. So at this point, this just has to be these. But yeah, I need to try playing. I think this was part of what I had said way back when we had started the Legendary Let's Play. Also, but like. Part of me wants to, not for the channel, but just for me, go back and play Majora's Mask again, just because I don't really... Oh, it's one of the Wind Waker... Or not Wind Waker,
like
one of the Twilight Princess... Well, it's like zoomed in on his face.
Yeah, I'm right technically with small animal.
Yeah, oh sure. If there was a game other than Majora's Mask, if there was a game that you would want to play out of this whole series...
For Zelda?
For Zelda. What do you think it would be?
Gotta be either Ages or Seasons on the Game Boy. Yeah. Because I played the shit out of those as well.
Oh, that's right. I think...
And those were great.
Yeah.
Those were such good games.
I liked them a lot. I grew up with Link's Awakening, so I'm a little bit biased in that direction.
I had those two, right? Like, those were the two that I had, and I played them over and over again because you could do the thing where you beat one of them and then you put the code in.
Oh, I remember very well, yeah.
I did them both in each direction and I just did it multiple times, and they were so good.
they were super damn good.
I played the shit out of those ones it was portable, right? Because it was Game Boy.
Oh yeah.
So that was nice.
Made it nice and easy to bring it wherever the hell you want, which was awesome.
Which was half the reason that I played it so much, because it wasn't like a thing that was a problem when you were doing things with like family shit, right?
I mean, the hardest part, honestly, was, especially for the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, was like just having a decent source of light. Because otherwise, you're just like, I can't fucking see.
I remember on the did you do this where you like leaned over towards the window on the highway and like playing
you're hoping
in the
that
light
the street
of
lights
like
would
the
be
street
there?
lights?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Or like, did you ever do the thing where you're like holding up the headlights in the back of the car?
Yep, and you're just like, oh, I got it.
Just enough light, and you're like, yes.
Come on, I'm almost at the boss. Come on,
yes.
damn it, they're turning. Damn it. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh my god.
90s kids things.
Yeah, those were the days. Oh my god, such a like.
Oh, nostalgia.
Such a basic 90s kid kind of problem is like, oh man, I can't see my Game Boy screen well enough. Oh my god.
But we were inventive with our solutions.
Oh yeah, we figured out a way to make it work. Absolutely. Oh god, it's funny, right? Because like, there are certain nostalgic things that you get kind of like wistful for. You're like, oh, part of me misses this thing from my childhood, that thing from my childhood. I would never ever trade back the Game Boy days of just by virtue of that. Even Game Boy Advance, I'm just like, I can't fucking see what I'm doing, and it's driving me crazy.
Oh god, that was always rough when you're like, well, I guess I just sit here in the darkness for the next half hour.
And you're like, I'm out in the sun and I can barely see what the hell I'm doing.
And then there was the extension things you could get, the little things that you plugged into the ports,
the game light or whatever,
game light thing, yeah.
Oh my god, I still have some of those.
And then your parents would be like, "Turn that off! It's reflecting inside the car, it's making it hard." Yeah,
it's like, Jesus Christ, all right, fine. Well, I think that's where we're going to call this one for today. We'll come back for tomorrow where we'll have somebody else. Any last thoughts on this game, on the Zelda series, on...
Oh, in general, I just enjoy Picross. Whoop! Thanks, Kat.
Coach.
I think Picross is a fun little puzzle game,
Yeah.
similar to Sudoku in its own kind of way.
It's very addictive. I love Picross. I have played the most massive games of Picross just because they're there. I love it.
I feel like it's one of those games that very few people are aware exists.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I think that's too bad. Maybe this will just, maybe more people will know about it now.
Yeah. I'll have to see. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Wave to the fine folks out there. There we go. She's waving. Just making sure that you guys are aware that it's happening. It's not like we have a camera or whatever, so it's important that you know.
There's a camera right there.
I guess there's oh my god, there is a camera right there. All right, we'll see you guys next time for more of this. Bye.
Next time.
Well, excuse me, princess. Check it out. You got the
It's not that I didn't guess that plot. It kind of was,
Like that there was-
explicitly told to you, and like,
Yeah.
I didn't. It wasn't like in minute 1 of the title screen. I was like, I bet it's all a dream.
Well, ironically, and I know we talked about this as well, the Japanese version of the game is literally called like The Legend of Zelda Dream Island, which is like, guys,
Which
you
kind
took
of
the most awesome imaginable basis for a plot and just went, who cares?
gives up the game.
Like, shit, guys.